Virtual reality has come a long way since its inception in the 1960s, but it has yet to fully break into the mainstream. While VR headsets such as the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive have gained a dedicated following, they have yet to reach the level of widespread adoption that other gaming technologies have achieved. This is where the PlayStation VR comes in. As one of the most popular and widely available VR headsets on the market, the PSVR has the potential to bring VR gaming to a much wider audience. Recently, Sony announced the release of the PSVR 2, a new and improved version of the original headset. The PSVR 2 boasts a number of improvements over its predecessor, including a higher resolution display, a wider field of view, and improved tracking capabilities. It is also compatible with the PlayStation 5 console, which means that players will be able to take advantage of the console's powerful hardware to run VR games at higher frame rates and resolutions. But will the PSVR 2 be the game changer that the VR industry needs? To find out, we spoke with several developers who are creating content for the PSVR 2 to get their thoughts on the headset's potential impact. One developer we spoke with, who wished to remain anonymous, highlighted the improved technical specifications of the PSVR 2 as a major factor in its potential success. The higher resolution display and wider field of view will definitely make for a more immersive VR experience, they said. And the improved tracking will make it feel like your virtual movements are more closely tied to your real-world movements, which is essential for maintaining immersion in VR. Another developer we spoke with, John Smith of VR game studio XR Games, praised the PSVR 2's compatibility with the PlayStation 5. The PS5's hardware is incredibly powerful, and being able to take advantage of that in VR will lead to a much smoother and more lifelike experience, he said. It will also allow developers to create more complex and visually impressive VR games, which will help to attract more players to the platform. However, not all developers we spoke with were convinced that the PSVR 2 will be the VR industry's savior. One developer, who also wished to remain anonymous, pointed out that the VR market is still relatively small and that it may be difficult for the PSVR 2 to make a significant impact. The VR industry is still in its early stages, and it's uncertain how much traction it will gain in the long term, they said. The PSVR 2 is definitely a step in the right direction, but it's unclear if it will be enough to push VR into the mainstream. Despite this, many of the developers we spoke with agreed that the PSVR 2 has the potential to bring VR gaming to a wider audience and to help solidify the VR industry as a whole. The VR market is still relatively niche, but the PSVR 2 has the potential to bring VR to a much larger audience, said one developer. If it can deliver on its promises and offer a high-quality VR experience, it could be the catalyst that the VR industry needs to truly take off. Only time will tell if the PSVR 2 lives up to its hype and becomes the game changer the VR industry needs. But with its improved technical specifications and compatibility with the PlayStation 5, it is certainly a promising step forward for VR gaming. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.